Good morning, everyone. In the previous class, we discussed exercise 1.4, and today we are going to solve exercise 1.5. Those questions are word problems, and I hope by today we will complete chapter number 1. Let us see exercise 1.5. First question. See that. In a school, 3 upon 70, 7 upon 20 of all students ride a bus to school, and 3 upon 8 of the students are dropped by car. 3 upon 20 of the students walk to the school, and 3 upon 8 of the students come on their bicycles. See, here it is given different means of transportation the students of a school are coming to school by. Okay, some are coming by bus, some are by car, some are by cycle, some are on foot. So 4 things are given. Some students are coming by bus, some are coming by car, some students are coming by cycle, and some are coming on foot. They are coming by walking. Okay, so we are asked to find out the number of students in the school. How many students are there in the school? And one more important information is given. What is that? Number of students coming on foot is 150. That is the most important hint or clue given in the question. What is that? Number of students coming on foot is 150, and one more information is given. What is that? 3 upon 20 of the students walk, means they are coming on foot, isn't it? But this question is having a problem. Actually, this question is wrong. While doing, you will understand that one. So we are going to assume, let the number of students be x. Let the total number of students be x. So let us write, let the total number of students be x. We are going to assume, let the total number of students be x. And it is given number of students coming on foot is equal to 150, isn't it? That is according to question, number of students coming on foot is 150, and the fraction of the students coming by walk is also given. What is that? 3 upon 20. See that first statement, 3 upon 20. So 3, this is nothing but 3 upon 20 of the total students is equal to 150. Have you understood this statement? It is given that number of students coming on foot is 150, and it is also given that the fraction of the students coming on foot, that is 3 upon 20 of total students is equal to 120, and this is taken as x. So we can write 3 upon 20 of means into x is equal to 115. We can cut these two. How many times? 50 times. So this is 1. Then these two we will cross multiply. This type of calculation you should study properly. Okay, very important for you. You see this cutting 150 and 3, we can cancel 50 times. Therefore x is equal to these two, you cross multiply 50 into 20. How many students? There are 1000 students in the class, in the school. Have you understood? See this one once again, we assumed number of students be x. Then it is given according to question, number of students coming on foot is 150, and this is a fraction is given 3 upon 20 of the students. So both are same only. Is equal to 150. Total students we have taken as x. Of means multiplication is equal to 150. 3 and 150 we can cancel 50 times. 1 balance x into. So these two we cross multiply. X is equal to 1000. So how many students are in the school? There are 1000 students in the school. Okay. Now let us go through one by one and also find the number of students coming by bus and on bicycle. Two more things. But you see, let us remember this one. Total number of students is x. Now you see this one. Let us find out each and everything separately. Number of students coming by bus. How many? 7 upon 20 of total. Total we got no 7 upon 20 into 1000. How many students are coming by bus? 350. By car. How many are dropped by car? 3 upon 8 into 1000. 125, which is equal to 375. Then cycle on bicycle. What? How many? 3 upon 8 into 1000. Both are same only 3 by. On foot 150. Total how many? Total how many are there? You see this one total. Look at this one. You add 350 plus 375 plus 375 plus 150. 350 plus 150, 500 plus 375 plus 375, 750. Total 1250 students. Do you see any problem over here? First we got total number of students are 1000 students. Using this one, isn't it so? And using 1000 students, we calculate the remaining number of students. Isn't it? By bus 350, by car 375, on bicycle 375, on foot 150, and then we got 1250 students. That is why I told you in the beginning, this question has some problem. Anyhow, you just try to understand the method what we solved here. Okay, that's all about the first question. Hope you have understood this one. Now let us go to question number 2. See, what is question number 2? The height of a red pole is 2 upon 5 that of a green pole. Next one, the height of a green pole is 10 by 13 of the height of blue pole. Find the height of blue pole if the height of red pole is 17 1 by 3 meter. Understood clearly? So what is given in the first question? See this one. Height of red pole is equal to, this is the statement, the height of red pole is equal to 2 upon 5 of green pole. Isn't it? 2 upon 5 of green pole. And you see this one, this height is given now, height of red pole. What is the height of red pole given in the question? 17 1 by 3 meter is equal to 2 upon 5 of means into the height of green pole. Okay, therefore height of green pole is equal to, how do you find this one? This is same as which one? Linear equation, no? 17 1 by 3 divided by 2 by 5. 17 1 by 3 is nothing but 52 by 3 into 5 by 2. We can cancel this one. 26 is equal to 26 into 5. 130 upon 3 meter. What is this one? Height of green pole. So we find out the height of green pole 130 upon 3 meter. Have you understood clearly? See, in the question, if you go through the question properly, then you will come to know this one. See, the first statement is this one: height of a red pole is equal to 2 upon 5 of that of green pole. Means what? 2 upon 5 of the height of green pole. And this is given now. Height of red pole is given in the question. 17 1 by 3 meter is equal to 2 upon 5 of means into height of green pole. Linear equation, no? So to find the answer, what we do? You divide these two. 17 1 by 3 divided by 2 by 5. 17 1 by 3 we converted into improper fraction. 52 by 3 into 5 by 2. You know how to divide fraction. You can cancel these two. So 26 into 5, 130. 3 into 1, 3. 130 upon 3 meter. What is that? Height of green pole. Again you go through the statement. Height of green pole is 10 by 13 of the height of blue pole. What is that? Height of green pole is equal to 10 by 13 of height of blue pole. This is the second statement, very important one. Height of green pole is means is equal to 10 by 13 of height of blue pole. Okay. Now height of green pole, we have already got the height of green pole. 130 upon 3 meter is equal to 10 by 13 into of blue pole. Same as this one. Again we are going to apply which one? Linear equation. Okay. So blue pole, what is that? Height of blue pole is equal to 130 divided by 3 upon 3 divided by 10 by 30, which is equal to 130 upon 3 into 13 by 10. 0 0 cancel. 169 upon 3. What is answer? 169 upon 3? 56. 1 by 3 meter. This is the height of blue pole. So here we have given 3 poles. One is red, one is blue, and one is green. And 2 important statements are given. That is, the first one is this one. What is that? Height of red pole. Second one is this one. These 2 are the important statement given over here. Understood? So here is the height of red pole is given. Okay, which is equal to 2 upon 5 of the green pole. Then we can find out the height of green pole. Then you see height of green pole in the question it is given is, and you know linear equation is equal to 10 upon 13 of the height of blue pole. So we got the height of blue pole, which is equal to 56 1 by 3 meter. Okay, have you understood? Now let us see question number 3. Drishti read 2 upon 3 of a book and found that the read number of pages is 90 more than the number of unread pages. Find the total number of pages in the book. So we are going to apply again linear equation. We are assuming let the total number of pages be x. We are going to assume that the total number of pages be x. Then number of, how many pages she has read? 2 upon 3 of 2/3 of total. Means what? 2/3 into x. Isn't it so? 2/3 of the total number of pages she has already read. Therefore, number of 100 pages. Isn't it so? How do you find the number of 100 pages? 2/3 she has completed. So how many are remaining? 1/3. Isn't it so? Because total it is divided into 3 parts. Isn't it? She has completed. How many parts she has completed? 2/3. How many remaining? This is remaining. 1/3 is remaining over there. Okay. So we can say 1/3 of x. Okay. So how many pages she has read? 2/3 of the total. Number of 100 pages, 1/3 of the total. Now according to question you see, what is that according to question? And found that the read number of pages is 90 more than the number of unread pages. According to question, number of read pages is equal to 90 more than means plus number of unread pages. Have you understood this one? After reading 2/3 of the, she completed 2/3 of the total pages and found that number of read pages is 90 more than number of unread pages. So you got a linear equation here. How is all linear equation? This one you can bring to LHS. So it becomes minus. Isn't it? Plus become minus. Is equal to 19. Same denominators. So you subtract numerator. 2x minus 1x. X upon 3 is equal to 90. Therefore, x is equal to, cross multiply these two, 270 pages. How many pages? 270 pages she has. Total number of pages are 270. Have you understood clearly? Okay, so here we assume that the total number of pages be x. Therefore, number of read pages is 2 upon 3 of the total. 2/3 of the total. 2/3 means 2/3 into x. So, how many pages are read? 2/3 finished, 1/3 of the total remaining. According to question, number of read pages is equal to 90 more than means plus 1/3 of x. From that you can find out the value of x. Okay. Then question number 4. See question number 4. Sneha went to a shopkeeper to purchase sugar. The dishonest shopkeeper uses a weight of 990 gram for measuring 1 kilogram. Sneha bought 1/5 kilogram of sugar. Find the amount of sugar she actually got. Have you understood the meaning? Sneha went to buy sugar. Okay, so the dishonest shopkeeper, what he does, instead of 1 kilogram, he gives only 990 grams. That means for 1 kilogram, how much he is reducing? He reduces 10 gram for every 1 kilogram of article which we buy. Have you understood? Now you see, Sneha bought 1/5 kilogram of sugar. Find the amount of sugar she actually got. 1/2 means 2.5 kilogram she bought, isn't it? Now let us see. For 1 kilogram, amount of sugar she lost. How much? For 1 kilogram, she lost 10 gram. Have you understood? You see this one, because it is given instead of 1 kilogram, he gives only 990 grams. So 990 grams means for 1 kilogram, how much gram more needed? 10 gram, isn't it? So he reduces 10 gram. So while buying 1 kilogram, she lost 10 gram. So while buying 1/2 kilogram, amount of sugar she lost is 1/2 into 10 gram, which is equal to 5/2 into 10. How many grams she lost? 25 grams she lost. Have you understood? If you buy 1 kilogram of sugar, you will lose 10 kilogram. If you buy 1/2 kilogram, which method I am using here? You know, unitary method. Which method? Unitary method I am applying here. So that would be easy for you. Know you studied about unitary method in class 6 and 7. So it would be easy for you. Now you see this one. 25 gram is how many kilogram? 0.25 kilogram. So amount of sugar actually she bought. How do you find the amount of sugar? How much she bought? 2.5 kilogram minus 0.025. 2.475 kilogram. So she wanted to buy 2.5 kilogram of sugar, but actually she got 2.475 kilogram of sugar only. Have you understood the reason? Because the dishonest shopkeeper uses 990 grams instead of 1 kilogram. That means if you buy 1 kilogram of anything, you will lose 10 grams. Understood? Because he gives only 990 grams, no? So how much we lose? 10 grams, isn't it? 10,000 grams. 1000 gram means 1 kilogram. Okay. That is the question is about. Okay. Now let us go to question number 6. Let us see question number 6. What is question number 6? Look at that one. Perimeter of an isosceles trapezium is 7.07 centimeter. If the parallel sides of the trapezium measures 37 upon 20 centimeter and 58 upon 25 centimeter, find the measure of equal non-parallel sides. Isosceles trapezium. Dear students, you must have studied about isosceles trapezium when you were in class 7. Isosceles trapezium means what? If the non-parallel sides of an trapezium are equal, then it is called an isosceles trapezium. Look at a trapezium. These two are parallel sides, isn't it? And these two are non-parallel. If they are equal, if these two are equal, not because these are parallel sides, no, A and B are parallel, C and D are non-parallel sides. And if these two sides are equal, it is called the isosceles trapezium. We studied about this one now, isn't it? And see the question. According to the question, length of parallel sides are given. So we can take this is 37 upon 20 centimeter. Second one is 58 upon 25 centimeter. These two are equal. We are taking it as x. Okay. We are taking the non-parallel sides, both are equal. We are taking as x. And the perimeter is given 7.07 centimeter. Okay. So that is what we are going to find out. So we have to find out the length of non-parallel sides. Okay. Understood? Then you see this one. How do you do this one? Perimeter is given. That is important thing. How do you find the perimeter of a trapezium? Very simple. You add all the four sides. Okay, that is x plus 37 upon 20 plus 58 upon 20 is equal to 7.07. Sum of all the four sides. Isn't it? What is x? We have to assume, okay, let the length of non-parallel sides be x. That you have to assume. You should write the answer. Okay, let the length of non-parallel sides be x, and according to question, sum of all four sides is equal to 7.07. Okay. Now you see this one, x plus x. I am writing here 2x plus. Here what to do? You have to find out the LCM. What is LCM? LCM is 100. So here into 5 into 5 into 4 into 4. Okay. So 37 into 5, 175 plus 58 into 4, 212 upon 100 is equal to 7.07. 2x plus, what is answer this one? 175 plus 212, 7, 8, 387 upon 100 is equal to 7.07, isn't it? This is 185, isn't it? 212, 37 into 5, 185, 212 upon 185, 7, 9, 397 it will be. Okay, which is equal to 7.07. Now what is the next step you are going to do? This can be taken to RHS, isn't it? So 2x is equal to 7.07 minus 397 upon 100. Okay, see this is 58 into 4, 200 plus 12, 232 will come, isn't it? So 232, 417, sorry, 470. So here also it will be 470. Now how do you solve this one? You see LCM method, into 100 into 100. So which is equal to 7.07 into 100. What is answer? 707 minus 417 upon 100. Okay, 707 minus 417. What is answer? 707 minus 417, 0, 9, 290. So 2x is equal to 290 upon 100. These two we can cancel. Okay, therefore, what is the next one? 2x is equal to, therefore x is equal to 29 upon 2 into 10. 29 by 20. Can you read this one? It is given x is equal to 29 upon 2x is equal to 29 upon 10. Therefore, x is equal to 29 upon 2 into 10. 29 by 20. This is the length of one side of the parallel side. This is 29 by 20. This is also equal to 29 by 20. Okay. So let us discuss once again this question. We are given an isosceles trapezium. These two sides are given and we know these two sides are equal. So we are assuming that these two sides be x. And this is what perimeter is given. So sum of all four sides is equal to this one. Isn't it? Now you see this one here, we can simplify these two by finding the LCM. LCM is 100. So it is 185 plus 232 upon 100, which is equal to 7.07. Sum of these two, 417 upon 100 is equal to 7.07. Then 2x is equal to, this will be taken to RHS, it becomes minus 707 minus 411 upon 100. So 290 upon 100, 0 cancel. 2x is equal to this one and x is equal to 29 upon 20. Okay, that's all about this question. Okay, now one more question we will do. Question number 8. What is question number 8? You see, Manan works in a factory which makes chairs. He was given an order to make the number of chairs for a company. He made 1 upon 7 of the number of chairs on the first day, 3 upon 8 of the number of chairs on the second day, and 1/5 of the number of chairs on the third day. And if he needed to make 158 chairs on the fourth day to complete the order, how many chairs were ordered to be made? That is the question, isn't it? So we can assume that the total number of chairs be x. So according to question, on first day how many chairs he made? 1 upon 7 of the number of chairs. So we can say 1 upon 7 first day of the total, second day 3 upon 8 of the total, and fourth day 1 upon 5th of the total, and fourth day 158. Isn't it? So first day plus second day plus third day plus fourth day. What is that? He was given an order to make number of chairs. So we assume that the total number of chairs be x. First day he made 1 upon 7 of the x. Second day he made 3 upon 8 of x. Third day he made 1 upon 5 of x. And fourth day he made 158 chairs to complete the order. So if you add all these things, what do you get? The total number of chairs you will get. Isn't it? Total number of chairs you will get. You see, first day plus second day plus third day plus fourth day is equal to the total number of chairs to be made. How many chairs are to be made? X number. Here, this one you can find out the LCM. What is LCM? 280. So 1 upon 7 into 40 plus 3x upon 8 into 35 plus 1 upon 5 x into 56 plus 158 is equal to x. Let us see this one. 40x plus 105x plus 56x upon 280 plus 158 is equal to x. So what is the answer of this one? 40 plus 105, 145 plus 56, 201. See it? 201 x upon 280 minus x is equal to minus 158. What I did here? I brought x here and this one I took it to RHS. Now here also we have to find the LCM. Into 280 is the LCM. So this would be minus 79x upon 280 is equal to minus 158. Therefore, these two we can cross, minus and minus we can cancel. These two we can cross multiply. 79x is equal to 158 into 280. This is cancel. X is equal to, how many chairs are to be made? 560 chairs are to be made. Look at this one once again. Let the total number of chairs to be made is x. On the first day he made this much, and second day he made this many chairs, and third day this much, and fourth day. If you add all the 4 days chairs, you will get the total number of chairs to be made. LCM you got of this one 280. Then we got 201x. Then I brought x to LHS. This number to RHS, it become minus 79x upon 280 is equal to minus 158. Minus and minus cancel. Cross multiply these two. 79x is equal to 158 into 280. 79 158 we can cancel 2 times. Therefore x is equal to 560 chairs. Okay. So by this we have completed exercise 1.5 and also a first chapter also we have completed. If you have any doubt you may ask me later. And okay, so I hope all of you have understood chapter number 1. Study very well. Okay, thank you.